Hello there, my name is Mark and welcome to this movie previewing the latest addition to our members area, which is the expected data. Expected data is based around a principle of expected goals, or XG, and this is the Opta definition of this, and it's Opta's data that we're using. Expected goals measures the quality of a shot based on the several variables such as the assist type, shot angle, distance from goal, and whether it's a headed shot, and also whether it's defined as a big chance in Opta's data as well. So basically what it says here is adding up a player's team or expected goals can give us an indication of how many goals a player or a team should have scored on average given by the shots that they have taken. So it's a really good measure of, well, instead of just looking at shots from a player or a team, we can look at the XG value, which gives an idea of the quality of the chance or the shot that they've made. We've also got expected assists, which isn't based on the shot that arises from the pass. Instead, Opta's definition is it measures the likelihood that a completed pass will become a goal assist. It considers several factors, including the type of pass, the end point, and the length of pass. And again, adding up a player or team's expected assists gives us an indication of how many assists a player or team would have based on their build-up or attacking play. There's the definitions. Let's look at how we're using it in the members area. The player data, first of all, I'm in midfielders. I'm going to apply a filter just so I don't give too much away to non-members at the moment. So let's filter for the last 2 game weeks. So this is midfielders for the last 2 game weeks. And you'll notice if you're in the members area, we've now got this expected tab here. So we can click on that to get to the expected table. And in here, this is where we store expected values for goals and assists. And by combining the 2 values, we also got a goal involvement stat as well. So that's really useful. So here we are on the player table. As I said, we filtered by last 2 game weeks. Very simply now we can sort by expected goals based on the last 2 game weeks and see that Fellaini was expected to score 1.02 goals. So the combination of his chances that he got in those over those 2 game weeks amounted to 1.02 goals. He got 2 goals in fact. So he actually overperformed. Here's the delta or the difference by 0.98. He wasn't expected to score 2 goals, but he did, and therefore he overperformed. Sané, in contrast, over his 2 game weeks has got a single goal, and that was about right based on the sum of the chances that he got. So he was only slightly overperformed by 0.14. So here you can see how we can immediately see how players stack up. That's for expected goals. We've got assists as well, so we can see that De Bruyne got 2 assists, and his passes were expected to award him 0.87 assists. Remember, this is Opta assists, not fantasy assists, because they're very different. And there's the delta again, so we can see again what players have over or underperformed, and we can sort by that column to see that at a glance. So we see here straight away that it was expected, well, that Sterling got 2 assists. He didn't expect to get, or wasn't expected to get that. A difference of 1.26, so he overperformed in terms of assists. Similarly for goals, if we do this here, we can see that Fellaini was the top overperformer, if you like. Hayden also in there as well based on the last 2 game weeks because of the difficulty of that chance, of course, that he scored at Southampton. And then we've got expected goal involvement based on the last 2 game weeks. So Sané was expected to be involved in 1.6 goals for Manchester City. He was involved in 2, so that was about right. He scored 1 and assisted. So again, this value is another powerful way of seeing, based on the season or any filter that you like to apply, the goal involvement or expected goal involvement for a player. That's how you can access this in our player tables. So we've also got expected values as well for teams. Here I'm in the expected tables, newly added, and I've sorted by expected goals for the last 2 game weeks, and it's no surprise to see Man City there. They were, according to Opta's data, expected to get 4.76 goals. They overperformed, of course, because they got 8, so the delta is 3.24. Let's sort by 0.93. They were on Huddersfield, reversed the other way. That's about right. They didn't score a goal. They were expected to get 1 perhaps, so they underperformed according to the expected data. Interesting that Chelsea there in the last 2 game weeks only expected to get 1.3 goals. They only got 1, so they actually underperformed by 0.30. You can see here how using this expected goals data we can get analysis of the quality of chance that teams are creating. It's a brand new variable, of course, but very, very powerful. And we've also got it for assists and, crucially, goals conceded. So now we can analyse how, if you like, how well their defences are restricting the quality of chance they're giving up to their opponent. So let's have a look at this briefly. Expected goals conceded over the last 2 game weeks. Stoke were expected to concede 5.2 goals. They conceded 8, a lot to do with the Man City performance as well, of course. Sort it the other way. Spurs, their defence, miserly, of course, haven't conceded the goal in the last 2 game weeks. Were only expected 0.5. So that gives us an assessment of the quality of their defending, how they're restricting restricting an opponent. And again, it's very powerful data. I'm only showing it over the last 2 game weeks, of course, but of course you can see it over the season or any interval you want using our filters. We've built it into the comparison tools as well, where we can do some really interesting stuff. Here I'm going to show you Harry Kane. Let's look at him home and away. A lot of talk about his home and away performances. Let's look how the XG data shows that. We're going to tick on the averages. No, we won't. Let's leave that grey. Okay, let's compare Harry Kane home and away and see where we've got the XG data. Here's the heat maps, of course, that we added on the last update. So his home matches here on the right-hand side, his away matches on the left. Expected data, here it is. So in home matches, it's pretty clear. Expected goals 2.21, away matches 3.27. That's as we expect based on the goals that he scored. He has scored 6 away from home, 0 at home. And here it is. The XG data shows why that is the case. But even so, Kane was expected to get 2.21 goals based on the quality of chance that he's been supplied. He scored 0, of course. That would indicate that he is underperformed and basically there should be goals on the way, but we've been saying that for weeks, of course. So you've got this here to compare the same player home and away. Of course, you can compare 2 different players. We can compare Kane to Lukaku for home matches, for example, and see how the difference is here. Quickly do that. There we go. Kane, Lukaku home matches. There's the heat map for touches, and here's the expected data. Where are we? There we go. So Lukaku, very different. Expected goals 3.79. He has, of course, scored 4 goals, so he's been on the money almost in terms of expected data. And compared to Kane, he is far more likely to score in home matches based on the data so far. But we've gone further than that. We've got maps, of course, up here. So why not map XG as well? So if we look at XG shots in our touch maps here, let's go right there we go. So this is an analysis of the chances that have come the way of Kane and Lukaku. The bigger the circle, the bigger the opportunity, or the better the XG rating. Green equals goals, blue is on target, red is off target, and if you roll over you can see details of that particular chance or shot. We can see which foot it was with, who provided the assist, and the full XG data. There we see that goal from Lukaku against West Ham. The XG rating was 5.8, 0.58, so 58% chance of that being a goal, and it was. He converted it, whereas you look at Kane at home, and his best chance is this one at Kane versus Burnley, 0.53, so 53% chance of converting that. And we see straight away from this that the chance quality that Kane is getting in home matches is very much below the chance quality or expected G values that Lukaku has had, and that could possibly explain why Kane has got 0 goals at Wembley Stadium at the moment. Of course, we've added those maps to the team comparison tool as well, so we got Manchester United, Man City here compared over the season. There's their XG shots, so 2 very attacking teams, a lot of good XG ratings here. This is for the full season, of course. We can narrow that down to more game weeks or less game weeks if we want to. But also what's interesting, we've got XG shots conceded as well. So there we can analyse the 2 defences and see, well, the City defence fares very, very well against the United one. United 7 clean sheets in 8 game weeks at the moment. We can see that City's defence, if anything, has actually restricted opponents more. We've also added the XG data to our team profiles. So here we are on Man City, again still viewing last 2 game weeks. We've got their XG shots there for the last 2 game weeks, and if we scroll down, we've got the expected table here available as one of these tabs, so we can view all their players and sort them according to the squad. Just an easier way of viewing the data per team. We've also got the expected goals data in our matches, so we're on the match dashboard now. Let's go to our latest one. Let's look at the Manchester City Stoke City match in particular. Let's click on that and go into that, and then we can see the expected goals data here. So we've got XG shots in that particular match there. There it is for Stoke, and also if we scroll down here, we've got the expected data for that particular match. So in any match you like, we can go in and see what that data is for assists, goal involvement, and so on. So you get that in the match dashboard too. And of course we've got our custom stats table feature, which enables you to create a stats table based on any number of stats that we've got in the members area, and of course the expected data is in here. If you just find it's down the bottom here, you now can use these in your custom tables alongside any other stats, set in your own filters and so on, and make that table either private for your own use or out there as public so everyone else can view it as well and use your analysis. Back on the members area dashboard, we've created a little widget here which shows us the under and overachievers for the current game week. You can change the game week or get cumulative here, but these are the players that obviously have under or overperformed in the game week in terms of their XG value and the actual goals that they scored. There you go. I hope that gave you an overview of how we've implemented the expected data at this moment in time. More to come. We're going to refine it further, integrate it better with the members area. But that's available now as part of the latest update. So you can get your memberships if you haven't already. Get in there and start analysing this fascinating data, which I think is going to be a great predictive or projection tool for fantasy managers and football fans alike. Thanks so much for listening. I'll see you next time.